exploring this particular part of art, and why is it really important for us as humans to embrace the works of art in our everyday lives. I want to say thank you so much for joining us on the program today. All right, that's our guest on the program today. This program is brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, grand donor and chairman of Council Yemisi Shilon Museum of Art. You can join in on the conversation. World of Art is streamed on Facebook, where you can send in your messages, ask our guest question, and yes, shortly the phone line will be open and you get to call us and talk to our guest on the program. So again, I want to say welcome. Good to have you. Somehow, I feel like you are very ready for the conversation today. All right, talk to us. How was your journey like when you started this? I always love to ask artists this question because behind every successful artist out there, there is a compelling story that most times did not start on a good foot with art, because you know there have just been so many stories as to how we Nigerians celebrate or embrace art in this part of the world. So what's your own story like?
My story started right from my childhood. As a child,
Of what age?
I started art at the age of 7. I used to dream about art. Normally, as children, we dream, you know. But when I woke up, I put down the things I dreamt of, like drawing the things I dreamt of, you know.
At 7?
At 7, yeah, I draw when I was a child. So I draw everything. When I was growing, the spirit continues like that and like that. So I get into my primary, my secondary, and all of that. And I kind of, you know, from there, I was very happy because it was a very beautiful experience and it could be my vision. It helped me to be my vision, what I really want to become. You know, telling my father at the point that I want to be an artist. You know, and he encouraging me no matter what. As a father, you know, sometimes our parents try to kick against what we have as child's dream. You know, but at the time, he was, you know, he blessed me, he encouraged me to go ahead with my vision, my dream of becoming an artist. Though growing up, it wasn't really sweet. There had been difficult times, you know, but thank God that the people God sent on my path to this journey has seen me through. You know, at one point or the other, God has used different people to pilot my journey to this point.
You said, I was very correct when I said every artist have this story, this convincing story as to why they embrace of art. And you said for you it started when you were 7. Now I know that's a very, very long time, but you were sure that that was when it started for you. What were those things you started with? Did you play with crayons, charcoals? Was it just that painting and drawing for you before you nurtured it?
When I was a child, my elder brother was very good at art.
Ah.
My elder brother was an artist.
Okay.
So when he's drawing, I join him. But at the time, it was like it was on me. In the class, I would draw on my school, my exercise book, my note on the wall, every corner I draw. Even my dad was against it at the point. But as children grow, like I normally say that we are all artists. Every child, we are all born artists. Despite as time goes on, one changes, but we are born artists. We are born to create. It's only when time goes on we decide to change. We decide what we want from life. But right from childhood, we have this gift of creativity, gift of art. So I have been creative right from childhood, drawing on the wall and everything. Then at the time when I became conscious of myself, that was when I told my parents, my dad,
I want to chase art. Interesting. Now we're building this story, and I know it can only get interesting on the program. But we're going this break, and when we return, we'll continue the conversation. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching World of Art on OGTV, and we've been blessed on the screen this evening by Miss Blessing Soporuchi Uzotwego. I tried to match the name together. Now, you told us about your story and how you started from the very beginning. At 7, you were already drawing, and then it kind of prompted your decision to studying art in school. Your profile also said that you graduated as the best female artist in your department, which gave you the residency program with Omoba Yemisi Shilo Museum of Foundation. Yes, let's talk about that experience. I feel like every artist, especially when they are just discovering their vision, having studied it in school or something, they need enablers, they need platform. And you know, OYSF was just at the corner immediately you graduated, and you had this residency program to push you up on whatever you studied in school. Let's talk about that experience for you.
I would say when I got into school 2015, my intention was to study art because that was what I want. So getting into school 2015, during my ND days, I graduated with distinction starting to the end, all through. Then I went back to a teaching job.
Were there women there? Were there ladies?
Yes, in art departments, at ND level, you are meant to study general art, study everything that has to do with art. Then when I graduated as the best student at that OND level with distinction as best student. Then getting back to my IT, I did IT for 1 year as a creative art teacher in Ibnejo Montessori's. Then 2019, I went back to school at the Department of Painting. Then I studied painting and I came out 2021 as the best female graduating student with honor, which gave me the...
For your HND?
For my HND, which gave me the opportunity to, the award to attend the resident program as a beneficiary to Omoba Yemisi Shilo Arts Foundation 2021. It's an award program for every best student from Auchi Polytechnic, not just only Auchi Polytechnic, but other polytechnics around. So when I got there, it was a privilege to explore art and to see art from a different dimension, rather from what I was seeing in school. Because in school, we had this intuition of academic art. There's difference between the academic art and the practical art. Then Omoba Yemisi Shilo Art Foundation gave me the opportunity to explore and to make research and see how I can go deep into my art rather than just becoming a lecturer at the end of the day.
Was there a huge difference or a margin between what you learned within that residency program and all that you learned in school?
Yeah, there was a big difference because Omoba Yemisi Shilo, the foundation was able to teach me how to understand the art market. You know, breaking down the art market, which you don't get that from school. So I began to learn about the art market from the Yemisi Shilo Art Foundation, which is OYSF. Learn the art market and make more research to know the kind of art I want to go into, the concepts, the idea, my concept of kind of art, where I want to dive into. That's what brought me to the traditional art, to not just traditional, but to talk about our African culture and human values.
We're going to talk about your concept, the way you love to express yourself, and you've said it before, it's traditional. Every of your work I have seen is screaming traditional. You know, but let's go back to what you mentioned earlier, the art market. You know, we might not have the whole time to discuss it in view, but can you give us a tip of what it looks like in Nigeria?
The art market is huge, though. I would say art community is not, Nigerian art community is not a very big one. It's springing or it's growing very fast, you know. And the market itself, it's wide, but it's kind of logical. It's logical, of which you have to, you know, be focused and know exactly what you want from the art market and how to make your sales and how to know your buyers. Make your sales, know your bias, and make ways for yourself as an artist, and find purpose, because surrounding all this is purpose. As an artist, you are meant to find purpose in whatever you do. That's the only way you can enjoy the art market.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you might not be financially buoyant, strong at the beginning, but if you keep your purpose first, it will help you. It will lead you to a higher point in art industry.
Well, that's it. Just like I wanted you to break it down, you've been able to push that. Now, let's talk about your concept of making art, which you started earlier. Talk to us about it.
Okay. My concept of making art was at a point in my life, I have this, what will I call it?
Passion? Or
It's passion. It's passion first, because without passion or without determination, determination, I won't be where I am today, because I had a lot of challenges growing up and striving as a lady in the arts, in the art field. What helped me to create my concept was the challenges I faced through as a growing up girl. You know, I wouldn't really say I grew up in the street, but I faced a lot of obstacles, you know, which made me to take the decision. I began to ask myself, what area of art do I want to specialize? How do I want to drive my message to my audience? How do I want my audience to see what I want to speak about, which is directly from me? I don't want to talk another person's story without really having a kind of connection with me. I want to tell a story that is connected with me. So that is why I decided to use the concepts, the ideas, the symbols I used to create my art. So that's just it.
interesting. So I see your work, and there's a lot of representation with choral beats, you know, and you also stated it in your profile. And there are other things that could depict royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of just love to show that in every work. We have a girl child here, still with the royalty, the cowries.
Yeah.
We have this man here, still with it. We have this woman here with, you know, a dog as well.
Yeah.
Same thing. So there must be like something pushing that in your work.
Yeah, like I said earlier, while I was growing up, I faced a lot of obstacles, challenges, you know. Sometimes I felt then, I felt a kind of rejection, like not being accepted, but that is not it. Then getting into the art market as an artist, sometimes you find yourself being, your works are being rejected as an artist, you know. When you get to galleries, you know, your works are being rejected. They will tell you this is not the kind of work they want, you know, you try this and try that, you know, things like that kind of make you want to give up. But I remain consistent and resilient to whatever I want. Then I began to ask myself, what do I really want? What do I really want to create? I don't want to be like any other person, but I want to be me. I just want to be me. I just want to express myself the way I feel inside, and I just don't want just expressing myself alone. I want to solve a problem. I find purpose in what I am doing. For many years I have studied art, and for many years I kept on with art, and I keep going. What do I want to do? What do I want to create? I find myself that I really want to solve a problem with art, not just creating it for fun or creating it for aesthetic sake.
And you've been doing that?
Yeah.
Over the years, have you suffered challenges? Let's leave the one you talked about while growing up and trying to identify who you are. Now, in the practice of this thing you call your passion, have you encountered some challenges?
Definitely, like I said earlier, when you visit the art galleries or coming in contact with some art collectors, they will tell you this is not what they want, and sometimes the artists will feel kind of rejected, you know. Where do I go from here? You want to sell your work and nobody wants to buy. Nobody wants to collect your work. It's as if you are not, you know, your works are not good enough. You understand? So I began to ask myself, it is not what the people want, but what do I want to create? What do I want to do? That was when I came up with the choral bead. And I realized that what can I use to express myself as a person and help others also? Then I realized that the choral bead was a kind of message, and not just a kind of message, is a kind of great value to every human. Jewelry in its own essence is a great value to anybody. So when you take out jewelry, you come to the African setting. The choral bead played a very great role in the African community. In the African setting, the choral bead plays a very great role and is still playing a huge role, because before the coming of the colonial masters, these beads has been in existence. It stands as our gold and diamond, which the kings, the royals wear it. Even then, Orunmila, Oduduwa and all, and the kings, the Obas, they saw themselves in beads. That's what stood them out as kings among nobles. So the bead, the choral beads plays a very great role, and in the African setting today, when it comes to traditional marriage, burial, different things, welcoming our visitors from outside, you see us welcoming them with choral beads. And as an individual, the bead itself, the jewelry itself, is a great value, meaning that every human being has a sense of value. We all possess a sense of value. But if you don't realize who and what you are, those who are stronger than you will definitely make good use of you. When they use you and you don't realize this on time, after using you, you will be left aside and they will go for another. So the bead itself stands a great value.
Thank you so much, Sofuruchi, for coming on the program today. Unfortunately, when this conversation gets more interesting, that's the time we're asked to leave the studio.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it's time up on the program World of Art. Again, thank you for joining us and sharing more lights about your mode of expression. I want to say you have a very beautiful work. Keep being good at what you do. You're telling your stories despite all the challenges, even though you try to summarize it for us. I was able to connect through what you were saying, and I know a lot of people are able to do the same from your story. The program is World of Art, where we bring you artists and we explore the advantages there are to visual art in our society. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shillong, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, grand donor and chairman of Council Yemisi Shillong Museum of Art, and also the grand patron for SNA Ogun State Chapter. My name is Miriam Usman. I'll see you next week, God's willing. Bye for now.